Good morning. We'll be starting with our first technical session for today. So our speaker is Dr. Monu K. Vora, MBA ASQ Fellow. So let us introduce our speaker. Dr. Monu Vora is Chairman and President of Business Excellence INC, a global quality management consulting firm. He has over 46 years of leadership experience in guiding Fortune 500 companies with US Valry's Performance Excellence Assessment. For the last 28 years, he has taught operations management courses at various business schools globally. He has contributed at over 680 educational institutes worldwide and taught to well over 12,000 pupils. In 2016, he was appointed as Fulbright Specialist by the US Department of State. In 2016, he completed a Gyan program sponsored by MHRD, Government of India at IIT BHU. In 2018, he completed his first Fulbright Specialist project at IIT BHU, sponsored by the US Department of State. Dr. Vora has B.Tech honors IIT BHU 1968 in Chemical Engineering, MS and PhD in Chemical Engineering IIT Chicago, and MBA with Marketing Management USA. He is a past Vice President of ASQ and ASQ Fellow. He is a sought-after speaker on business excellence and quality management topics with over 1,060 presentations in 17 countries across 5 continents. He has published over 70 scholarly articles. He has written 50 blog posts on quality management. He had delivered soft skills and quality management topics using technology to 100 colleges, universities in India with an outreach of 9 lakh pupils. Dr. Vora has received 53 awards, honors for his outstanding professional service, including Fulbright Specialist appointment from the US Department of State. He has received 35 awards for his lifelong community service, including US President's Volunteer Service Award. In 1968, he received J.N. Tata Scholarship for his graduate studies at IIT Chicago. In this interactive session, Dr. Vora will discuss effective teamwork. You will learn importance of teamwork to accomplish various initiatives in any organization. 5 dysfunctions of a team will be shared. Also, goal setting and prioritizing will be addressed to enhance your teamwork performance. This session will empower you to do well in your professional careers. Once again, welcome Dr. Monu K. Vora sir. Over to you,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. So thank you so much, Dr. Mrinal Kanti Dev Burma. I'm honored to be part of this FDP. And let me put the stake in the ground. You can learn all the things about machine learning, data science, etc. But at the end of the day, when you are applying those concepts at the work setting, you will be working in teams. And unless we figure out how to work together as a team, the knowledge will have a suboptimal outcome. So this is a very important topic we all need to focus on, one of the soft skill area where knowledge needs to be deployed in an effective teamwork session. So let me share the presentation with you. And I'm monitoring my time, so I will manage my time effectively. So once again, congratulations to all the attendees who have chosen to participate in this wonderful FDP put together at NIT Agartala in Tripura. So the roadmap for this morning, my session is we'll begin with a little bit of an icebreaker with some quotes on teamwork. Then we'll define what is a team and what does it mean about teamwork. How do we set the goals for the entire team? Important aspect is to prioritize the work to be done in the team setting. Some special tips for doing problem solving, which goes hand in hand with the teamwork. And very important, some guidelines on giving and receiving feedback. The feedback will be given by the team leader and received by the members of the team. Share some of the concepts about team engagement model and 5 dysfunctions of a team. And there are several simple YouTubes where are They are very humorous and they make the nice points. So those are all blended in, and I'll request Dr. Mrinal to help me when those YouTubes come up for playing. Now, we just learned that during the opening session, in my brief remarks, I mentioned that if you are really want to get something out of this FDP, all of you should make an effort to involve yourself in the learning which is given by the expert faculties. And when you are learning new concepts, make sure that you are going to apply it. And when you apply those new concepts, be open to share it with others so that everybody benefits. And this is how you can take back the knowledge from the FDP back to your institute. So a few quotes on the teamwork. First one from a sports personality, Vince Lombardi, American football coach. He says individual commitment to a group effort, that's what makes a team work, a company work, a society work, and a civilization to work. Next one is from the famous basketball player Michael Jordan from Chicago area, who won the 4-5 basketball championship. He says talent wins games, but the teamwork and intelligence wins the championships. Helen Keller says that alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. So 1 Minute Manager author Ken Blanchard tells us none of us is as smart as all of us. Henry Ford has two sayings here. Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress, but working together is success. So we need to be focusing on working together as a seamless team. Second one from Henry Ford, if everyone is moving forward together, then success takes care of itself. And the last one from the coach, Phil Jackson, of the basketball coach for the Chicago Bulls. The strength of the team is each individual member, and the strength of each member is the team. So it's a synergy, and they are all dependent on each other. Now, what is the team? Team is a group of people who pull their skills, talents, and knowledge with mutual support and resources to provide effective solutions for problems. So if you are working on a data science issue, machine learning issue, you will be confronted with some unknown challenges. At that time, you need to pull together people. Kindly stay on a mute. Thank you. Please stay on mute. I think somebody by name Shrikant is speaking. Last time also that person was speaking. So kindly have the discipline. Thank you very much. Because it's disturbing 200 plus people who are listening in. So key thing is we need to share and pull our skills, talents, and knowledge to support each other. Pictorially, a team is many hands and one mind. So when you pull all the hands together, it becomes a single brain, and that's what the team should be. And so the point I want to make, each and every individual working in the team should put aside their individual ego and blend together to achieve the objective of the team. So their individual goals should be part of the team goal and focus on achieving the goals of the team. So why work on the team? We can learn to share some perspectives. We can learn from each other. We can discover a little bit more about ourselves as well as others while working in the team, learn something new, support each other, experiment, and have fun. Most important part, your team will be successful when you are all working collaboratively and cooperatively to have fun at the end of the day. Now, this is a little bit busy slide. In order to be effective team member, one need to become resilient, and it's an 8-step journey. So let me walk through those 8 steps. First, accept the change. We need to find ways to become more comfortable with the change. Secondly, become a continuous learner. Learn new skills, for which you have come here to FDP, gain new understanding, and apply them in times of change. Third, take charge. Take charge of your own career and your own development, because if you don't, nobody else will. Four, find your sense of purpose. Once you have found out the purpose in life, you will be at peace and you will be able to provide the best output. So it allows you to assess setbacks within the framework of a broader perspective. Number five, pay attention to self-identity. Form your identity apart from your job. Six, cultivate relationship. Develop and nurture the broad network of personal and professional relationship by reaching out to others in the field and sharing and learning from each other. Seven, most important, to do reflection. Reflection fosters learning, brings new perspectives, and raises the self-awareness, which will allow you to have better intelligent, the emotional quotient. And last, skill shift. Reframe how you see your skills, talents, and interests, and continue to replenish your knowledge, because then you are at your best and then you are most useful to your organization and to yourself. So definition of teamwork, TEAM, together everyone achieves more. Of course, there are 5 stages: forming, storming, norming, performing, and disbanding. We'll take a look at what those are. Focus on the pictorial on the right. There is a dog and a cat going for a 6-pack of beer. So the learning is, when there is a common objective, common goal, even the enemy will unite. So when you are working at your institute or in the workplace, there are no enemies. They are all friends and professional colleagues. You should be cooperating and collaborating with each other to achieve the best. So leaders must need to create a culture of cooperation by setting very clear goals and expectations. And very important for the team leader to make sure that as soon as there is a conflict, and by the way, when 2 or more people work together, conflict is going to happen, it's inevitable. But once the conflict develops, the leader should not put it under the rug, because it's not going to go away. It needs to be resolved by putting those 2 people who are not working out well together, put them on the sideline with a very clear guidance. Resolve the issue by focusing on issues at hand rather than personality. Come back and tell us how you are going to work together, with the warning that if you cannot resolve your differences, either 1 or 2 of them will be replaced and new members will be inducted in the team. Because those 2 people who are not working out of membership of 6 to 7 members, they will drag down the entire team on the performance. Dr. Asim Saha, kindly go on mute. Dr. Mrinal, can I request you to make everybody on a mute, because this is taking away time from the session. Now, we saw the 5 stages of the team or the group development put together by a fellow named Bruce Tuckman in 1965. Forming, when the team is chartered to solve a specific issue by the leadership, where the tasks are defined, team is getting built. Immediately what will happen is there will be a storming going on because of the individual ego. Conflict will arise. There is not much cooperation. So when the team is formed, the storming stage has to be passed through and try to reach to the norming stage, where ground rules are established, how the team will function together, how will you work together in a cooperative and collaborative way. Once you have established the ground rules and norming has been done, now you are ready to perform, to tackle the issue assigned to you as a team by forming close connections and focus on results. And when the issue is resolved, the team needs to be disbanded and look out for future improvements. So these are the 5 stages through which the groups or the teams are developed. Now I want to bring in the very important concept of theory of strengths. Now this work comes from Gallup organization, which is a marketing agency. They are very active during political season here. They do sampling and project who will win, who will not win, etc. Now, they have studied successful people from around the world, the Gallup organization, and put together a book called Strengths Finder 2.0. Published a book in 2007, and according to Gallup, the strength is defined as the ability to consistently provide near perfect performance. The ability to consistently provide near perfect performance. So if you are working on a difficult issue of data science, if you want to form a team, you need to look for several things. One, look for people with the right strengths. So if they have the strength, they're going to be able to solve the issue working in a collaborative way. Also look for volunteers and look for their past experiences and ability to deliver. So strength shown pictorially in the center, 3 bubbles at the top are the talent. So the strength is a multiplier of talent time investment. 3 bubbles at the top, thinking, feeling, and behaving, that's the talent part. And the investment is bottom 3 bubbles, skills, knowledge, and experience. Now I'll give you a couple of simple examples to bring the concept home. So first, a coach was working with a ping pong player and found out that he was very good with the forehand stroke. So he decided not to bother about the backhand stroke and give him so much extra practice with the forehand stroke. He won the world championship. Why? He was working with his strength. Then second thing is, if you have children in the school or in the colleges, they are studying 5 subjects in a given semester, report card comes in, 3 A's, 1 B, and 1 C. As a parents, when you sit down with your youngsters or the students, most of the time focus will be on C. Instead, this theory of strength talks about exactly opposite. Do more discussion around 3 topics with the A's and make sure that those A will remain A because the child has already shown the preference. C will hardly ever become A, but you can allow extra resources to move from C to B. So idea of theory of strength is you find out your strengths, you use that individual strengths, and the team lead should know the members, each member, what their strengths are. And fortunately, if you are interested in finding it out, there is a book out there called Strengths Finder 2.0. You can buy a new book you have to buy because at the back of the book, there's a code. And when you use that code to take online test, within about 30 minutes answering 180 questions, you will get your top 5 strengths based on the way you answer the questions out of 34 major strengths. And one disclosure, I do not have any stocks in the Gallup organization. So if you buy the book, I will not become rich. And if you don't buy the book, I will not be poor. So as an example, I'm showing you my top 5 strengths. So about 10, 12 years back when the book came out, I bought 3 copies, one for myself and 2 for each of my sons. And they took the test, I took my own test. So my 5 top strengths out of 34 listed based on the successful people from around the world. I'm an arranger, more like a conductor of the symphony, where I enjoy managing the variables to get the beautiful music. Secondly, I'm an achiever with the inner drive to keep moving. I'm a learner, move from the journey of ignorance to competence. Fourth, I'm a maximizer, look for excellence. And for me, average does not work. I look for excellence first from myself and then from people around me, including my family members. And the last, I'm a relator. Once I come in contact with others, ability to form relationship for a long term. you will get your top 5 strengths. And how do you use it in the team setting? The team lead should know the individual strengths of each of the members. So when the assignment time comes, you look for volunteers with the right strengths to be given that task or a subtask. And when each one of them are working with their strengths on a given task or a subtask, they will not need any supervision. They'll be self-starters and they will amaze you with the great results. And second thing you can do, once you know your top 5 strengths on your resume or curriculum vitae, put it right below the objective, second line, my top 5 strengths, which will allow a conversation with the interviewer. Either you are going for promotion or a lateral move, you can explain how those strengths help you to do better in the previous assignments, previous projects, etc. A beautiful concept. I think we need to leverage this at all levels. Now, what are the skills needed for members on the team? We need both technical skills and soft skills. And later on, I'll talk a little bit more about the importance of soft skills. We talked about it at the inaugural session. And in the soft skill, there should be a shared vision for the team and good behavioral skills people need to be developing. Now, team leaders need to have these skills. We already talked about conflict management and resolution, managing your own team. Leadership is very important skill, is a foundation. And leadership, not only for the team leaders, but for each member of the team, they need to exhibit leadership as well. Good decision making, extremely good in communicating with the members of the team, negotiation, because they are the one as a team leader going to go around and find the right set of people. And if you are a project team talking about, then you will be looking at various functional groups from whose managers you are going to borrow people on a loan basis to work on the project. And cross-cultural training, extremely important when the teams are global, different cultures, different nuances. The team leader must be very familiar with the cultural issues so that the team is not blindsided. Skills for team member, at a minimum, good communication among the team members, how to manage the meetings. This is altogether a separate topic. We can spend a whole hour on it. The world over, people waste almost 2 days. People spend 2 days. This is data from the Harvard Business Review article published about 2 years back, that on an average around the world, people spend 2 days out of 5 in the meetings. Out of those 2 days, 1 day, that is half of that time spent, is useless because nothing has happened. So 1 day out of 5 days in the workplace is a waste. As opposed to that, when you look at Google as a company, they allow 1 day of free thinking. You don't have to worry about the work. You need to think about some new ideas, new thinking, which will allow Google to bring new products and new services to market, and shared decision making because you are working in the team. Ingredients of a successful team: the team must have a clear goals up front. There should be an improvement plan, good balanced participation, established ground rules, clearly defined roles and responsibilities, clear communication, awareness of the group process, use of scientific approach, and beneficial team behaviors. Now, unless we possess these ingredients and unless we have these kind of discipline, teams will not be successful. And let me make one quick comment. By coming from India, my observation, and then staying here in the US for well over 52 plus years, my observation is as follows. In India, we have brilliant people, but they are all good at working individually. If you put those people together as a team, they don't work out well. And sorry to say, collectively, they act like fools. But in the Western world, individually, they are not as brilliant as individual people like we have in India. But once they are in a team, they will work together in a collective fashion and they will bring the best solution on the table. So we have a lot to learn in terms of the teamwork and well-defined decision procedures. Now, let me bring out a little aspect of importance of the skills from the World Economic Forum Future of Job reports. So 2020 versus 2022 data is shown here, 10 critical skills needed to be successful in global arena. 4 items color-coded are sort of duplicated from 2020 to the left side in 2022 column. If you reflect on these 10 items, most of these items are not covered in the curriculum at the colleges and universities. And it's a shame that students who graduate, they are lacking the real skills which are required in the workplace to be successful. This is what the world is talking about, and we are neglecting it. And this is not just in India, but all over the world. So analytical thinking, active learning, creativity, technology design, critical thinking, complex problem solving, leadership, emotional intelligence, reasoning, problem solving, ideation, system analysis, and evaluation. So these are the skills. And I would sincerely request all the people who are on these FDP, including NIT, Agartala's administration, and all the faculty, think about this to inculcate these kind of skills into your students. So when they graduate, they are cut above the rest. Now let's talk about few simple soft skills which are very critical for a successful workplace as well as working in a team. So pay attention to the second half of the slide. No matter what job you have in life, your success is determined 5% by your academic credentials, 15% by your professional experiences, and 80% by your communication skills. So what do? We run after 5% and 15%, and we neglect this 80% communication skill, which is very, very critical. And fill in the blank other soft skills like leadership, decision making, time management, teamwork, etc. And for communication, we need to have verbal, written, and presentation. Each one of them have to be meaningful, and to be better at it, we need to practice throughout the life. This is a journey for the entire life. Now, let me give you my personal example. I graduated from IIT BHU with a chemical engineering degree in 1968 BTech. Now, during the study years, one faculty had put me down because I come from a middle class family. My focus was to study hard and get the best education at the top institute, Temple of Learning, built by Pandit Madan Mohan Malaviya ji in Banaras. But one of the faculty told me that you will not ask question because I was asking a lot of question in various classes. He did not like it, young faculty. He put me down. He says, okay, you will not ask any more questions. As a result, I went into my inner shell and stopped asking questions. And one thing I realized that if you ask question, lot of time what is not clear to you may not be clear to everybody else in the class also. So by asking question, everybody benefits. And that's one best way to learn. And that's what I did after coming into US, doing my master's, PhD, MBA. I realized that if I don't speak up, people will think you are a fool. So basically I opened up, and then I had a good mentor at AT&T Bell Labs where I worked for 17 and a half years. He told me that, look, if you have something of value to share, people will listen to you. And during the major events where I had a chance to introduce a speaker in an auditorium full of 250 people, he says, light will be down. You are at the podium. I'll be in the front seat. I'll keep smiling at you. You deliver your best opening, and you'll be all right. So that's how I continue to learn to improve my communication. So in short, back in 68, 52 plus years ago, I was afraid to speak to the group of 4 to 5 people. Now as a faculty, you have to pay me to stop talking. So that's the difference. By practicing is constantly making sure that you are focused on giving the right information, the best information to the audience. People will listen. And last comment about communication is such an important topic. So there was a highly technical company, people with 25 to 30 years experience. A new person joined with the enough technical knowledge to know what's going on, but extremely good at communication and soft skills. So he got a quick promotion. All the people who were there for a long time, they got frustrated, met with the manager. Manager sat them down. He said, okay, and the complaint was why this new person is getting promoted so quickly, because he is not with the company for X number of years, etc. So manager sat everybody down and he said, I can hire all of you techies, dime a dozen, but to find a rare combination of good technical understanding, kindly stay on mute. Miss Raju, kindly stay on a mute. May I request all the participants to go on a mute? It's disturbing the flow here. Sorry. Miss Raju, go on a mute. Dr. Mrinal, if there is a way to make everybody mute, kindly do that. This is. So the essence is to. Miss Raju, either you speak or I speak. Can you mute yourself? Dr. Mrinal, can you mute Raju? This is not a good situation. Sorry. Please mute yourself. Anyway, communication is a very important skills. We should master it, and also following the direction. When somebody requests you to go on a mute, you should be muted. Dr. Mrinal, can we mute Dr. Ms. Raju? She's taking away time from 200 people. Kindly mute Ms. Raju. She's taking away time. Wasted 3 minutes. So in my classroom, I mentioned that there is only one meeting. Either I am speaking or you are going to speak. And currently I have the floor. So I would request Ms. Raju to go on a mute. This is my request. Dr. Mrinal, if you are there, could we do something with Ms. Raju?
Yes, sir. You carry on, sir. We have removed Dr. Raju. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's sad. People can't follow the direction. It's so sad.
Exactly, sir. Carry on,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah. So this is so when you have a team, this Raju is trying to come and speak again. Yeah, this is a little bit unprofessional behavior, and this is what I'm talking about. Individually, we may be good, but collectively, when you are in the session of 200 people, you cannot take away anybody's time. Anyway, when you do the team, work in a team and do a meeting, you need to keep together a simple meeting summary, meeting minutes. All you need to do is write down a simple item, the date the meeting happened, time, place, who attended, what are the key discussion in the bullet form, and what were the key decisions also in the bullet form. But most important, what are the action items? So if you have a meeting and after the meeting there are not a single action item, you need to think about why the meeting was held. So there has to be an action item table which shows the running number for the action items, date open, what the clarity of the issue, who is going to be assigned that action item, and what is expected high level, because we don't know how complex that issue could be, but what is expectation so that this issue gets underway in terms of working on it. And second thing we need to think about is doing a quick evaluation. I don't know whether any one of you do this, but when you have a meeting, you can take extra few minutes towards the end of the meeting, ask 3 simple questions. Things work well, use bullet. Things did not work well, again, few bullets, and things that need to change for subsequent meetings. So ideally, what you need to do is whatever meeting summary is prepared, with the evaluation, you quickly summarize and send it on to all the team members as soon as the meeting is ending, rather than share it at the next time when the team meets again, because otherwise you are losing time of work on the action items. Now Anil Kumar Dubey is speaking. Really sorry, Dr. Manal. Let me take a minute to request all the attendees, please go on a mute and do not disturb, because this is not good. We are wasting time. And when you are speaking, I cannot speak. Anyway, Dr. Minal, if you are there, kindly play this YouTube. If you have already downloaded it, it'll be nice.
Yes, sir, we're playing.
Okay.
Please, all the attendees or participants, mute yourself.
Don't have audio.
Yeah, the audio is not there. Sorry, we are missing the audio.
Sorry, just some technical issue. Just let me just clarify this.
Please. Yeah, these are short videos which can explain the team behavior and what are the benefits of working in the team. And once again, request for everybody to be on a mute, please.
ഇന്നലെ രാവിലെ നിങ്ങളെ വിളിച്ചേ ഉണർന്നപ്പോഴേ. അത് വേറെ, ഇന്നലെ ഞാൻ വിളിച്ചത് വേറെ. നിങ്ങൾ ചത്തോ, നിങ്ങൾ ചത്തോ ഉണ്ടോ എന്നറിയാൻ. മറ്റേ ഫോൺ സ്വിച്ച് ഓഫ് ആയപ്പോ ഞാൻ വിചാരിച്ചു നിങ്ങളെ ഏതോ ആശുപത്രിയിൽ അഡ്മിറ്റ് ആക്കി. മരുന്നാണോ? നാളെ മുതൽ എല്ലാരും കഴിക്കണം, ഞാൻ ഇതുവരെ കഴിച്ചോളാം.
Sorry, sir. There is a technical issue from audio. Audio is
Yeah,
not.
we can skip the YouTube. They will get the copy and they can play it themselves.
Yes,
That's okay.
yes.
Yeah, because in the interest of time.
Yeah.
And Jan Marie Thomas, she was speaking quite a bit. Can you mute her? Still talking. Can you mute Jan Marie Thomas? She's talking at the moment, not listening. Dr. Mrinal,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
please mute Jan Marie Thomas. Still talking away.
Thomas.
Jan Marie Thomas.
Jan Mary Thomas. Just
Yeah. Yeah, remove, because I don't think they understand.
I'm interested.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. So now one of the aspect we need to think about when you are working in a team to set the goals. And I think the volume is not there, so let's not worry about it. In the interest of time, let me continue the presentation, please.
Yes, sir. Please carry on. Yeah, we have tried, but it's not working properly.
Yeah. Okay, so goal setting, we need to think about SMART goals. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, and realistic, and time-based. So if you are throwing a dart, you need to hit the bullseye, that's the yellow area. So it's not only setting the goal, but achieving those goals are very important for the team. And every member of the team must understand what the goals are for the whole team, and they all need to work in a collaborative way. Prioritization, very important, because when you are working in the team, there will be a lot of information coming your way. You create 4 buckets. 1, things you need to do. Secondly, if you have somebody who could do the work for you, put it in the delegate bucket. Third, you have to do it, but not right now because you are busy on a critical aspect of the team's project. So you write it down on a yellow sticky paper that you will come back to it after week or 10 days. And the fourth thing is a lot of things coming your way should go in the dump basket, never to see the light of the day. So by doing this prioritization, you are able to better manage the activities, tasks, and subtasks you are assigned to work in the team and continue to make progress and solve the problems. Now, problem-solving methodology. Now, as I mentioned in the opening, that in the last century, the 20th century, we needed to have reading, writing, and arithmetic as a critical skills. In the 21st century, we need to carry those on forward. Reading, writing, and arithmetic is a must as a given, but we need to pick up 3 more specific skills. So one is teamwork, which we are talking about, second, problem solving, and third, project management. So teamwork, problem solving, and project management, if we can master them, will be very useful, and it will be allowing us to become competitive player in the global arena. Now, problem solving is not a rocket science. It requires first to spend time on properly defining the problem. Now, unfortunately, a lot of time we as an engineer, and I'm also part of the same group, we try to find a solution and then we look for hunting what problem have we solved. So that's a wrong approach. Don't get the solution first without focusing on what the real problem is. So take time to define the problem, then determine the magnitude of the problem using the data. Then third, determine the root causes, why the problem is coming in the first place. Fourth, find possible solutions to address the root causes. And then when you found a solution which has reduced the root causes, make that solution permanent and go on to the next important problem you need to solve. So these problem solving methodology, we need to teach along with the practical examples by giving the team assignment to the students. They will be better equipped when they enter the workforce to solve any problems. So let's talk about teamwork, the problem solving tips. First, let's focus on the graphic here. They are laying a railway track and somehow the proper tracks were not laid and the train will not be able to pass through that area. And so what's happening? They are having a storming, blaming each other rather than a brainstorming. So the proper tips for problem solving is we need to state our views in a very clear and non-judgmental language, clarify the core issues, listen carefully to each other's point of view, check for understanding of the disagreement by restating the core issue, and use technique as circling for group comments and do some silent thinking when the emotions are running high. So this is extremely important to understand how to do the problem solving in a team situation. Here are some tips on giving the constructive feedback by the team leader to the team members. Be descriptive and speak for yourself. Never use labels, exaggeration, or be judgmental. Talk about yourself first, not about the other person. And phrase the issue as a statement, not to question the team member. Restrict your feedback to things you know for sure. And help people hear and accept your compliments when you are giving positive feedback. So you need to give both positive feedback as well as constructive developmental feedback. Now, if you are the team members, what you need to do to receive the feedback properly. So take a deep breath, listen carefully, ask questions for clarity, acknowledge the feedback, acknowledge the valid points, and take time to sort out what you have heard and what you are going to change based on the feedback given by the team leader so that your work improves and the team remains focused. Now, I mentioned about a simple team engagement model. So let me populate the model first. So if you are working at an institute in your department, you can take a quick pulse of all the faculties, what percentage are satisfied, and you will be lucky if you get somewhere around 50 to 55% to start. Then you ask what percentage of those satisfied are motivated. That number will keep dropping. Then less in the committed, and lowest will be in the advocates. So the advocates are the people who have become essentially surrogate of the organization, and they try to bring the best people to come and work for the organization, etc. So your objective is you want to recruit people who are satisfied, motivated, committed, and they essentially become the advocate for your organization. This is the last new concept I want to bring in. Person by name Patrick Lencioni has written a book called 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. So let me share those 5 dysfunctions and how the team leader can manage them. So the first dysfunction is absence of trust. So the team is only powerful when each member of the team can trust each other. And for that, they need to be vulnerable to each other by sharing their strengths and weaknesses. So this is where StrengthsFinder 2.0 concept come in handy. All members know their strengths. So when people are assigned tasks, you assign the right task with the right strength. Secondly, when the 6 or 7 people in a team doing a discussion, there is generally artificial harmony and few people talk, decisions get made on a limited input. Others who have not spoken, they say, okay, we have nothing to do with it. This is 1 or 2 people idea, let them do what they want. That's a highly dysfunctional team. So the real way to do it, all people who are on the team provide the input. Based on the total input, decisions are made. And when final decision is made to work on 1 or 2 critical issues, everybody falls behind 100% on those items selected. Third, when the assignments are made by the team leader to the member, they need to be absolutely clear. When they are ambiguous, people cannot make the commitment to get it done. Fourth, assignments are made, hold the members accountable to deliver their part of the output so that collectively team can finish the work. And a lot of time people get carried away because of their status and ego sitting on a team, and they forget what the results the team needs to achieve. So they need to be really blending in as a member of the team irrespective of their status, whether they are the supervisor, manager, vice president, director, etc. And that is just to show the emphasis, very important. Okay, so we are wrapping up the presentation. When I is replaced with we, even illness become wellness. So it's a play of word. You replace I from illness and put W in there, WE, illness become wellness. So unity is strength. When there is teamwork and collaboration, wonderful things can be achieved. And pyramid of success coming from the sports example, basketball coach John Wooden, University of California at Los Angeles. So he talks about success is a peace of mind, which is a direct result of self-satisfaction in knowing you made the effort to become the best that you are capable of becoming. So it's like a pyramid, starts with in the sports setting, and a lot of these is applicable in real life to any domain. Industriousness, friendship, loyalty, cooperation, and enthusiasm. Next level up, self-control, alertness, initiative, and intentness. Top condition, physically, skills, team spirit, poise and confidence, competitive greatness. So success will come when there's a faith and passion. So that's a pyramid of success. So difference between success and failure is a great team. So if you have a great team, your chances of success are much higher, and invariably your team will complete the work and get the best output. So my simple request to all of you who are in the first session of this FDP, kindly write down 2 key takeaways, what you have learned from this module on effective teamwork and what you are going to take it back with you. And when you are at your institute or at your workplace, what you are going to deploy as a 2 key takeaways. So take time, write those things out. Good references. And I don't know whether this video will play, but all of you will get a copy of it. If you want to, I think in the interest of time, let's not play the video. It's a beautiful video for play information the teamwork inspired by the Blue Angels. Now, I just wanted to take 30 seconds to explain that the AICTE for this Atal FDP provides a small honorarium. And for this session, I'll be donating the money to Ramakrishna Mission Vivekanand Memorial Vadodara in Gujarat, where they are working on value education projects and eye care projects. And by the way, we have been working with the many Ramakrishna missions throughout India for the last 32 years on helping blind people. And India has a 15 million blind people, 1 out of 3 in the world. So it's my small contribution to help on the project. And with that, we have about 5 minutes left. So let's take questions. Yeah. Dr. Mrinal, we have 5 minutes, so please see if there are any questions in the chat box.
Any question from the participants?
Okay, I don't see any questions coming in the chat box. So, Dr. Mrinal, you may want to do the wrap up because I don't want to take anybody else's time.
Sir, may I ask a question?
Sure, go ahead.
Hi, sir. Anurag here from Ghaziabad. Sir, I want to know this that at a very fine day you come from home very enthusiastic after 2 days a weekend, and suddenly when you reach to your office and you see the negativity around you. So how to maintain that pace up which you build up for the last 2 days, that on the Monday you will be good with all the positive energy. So you decide your workflow in your mind, and whenever you reach office, oh, you were just busying your home of cards. In the office there is suddenly something else you have to do.
Yeah, yeah. So I think this
In
is
positive vibes state of,
sure.
yes,
I think this is where, first of all, focus is important and the time management issue. Now, if those negative things are coming your way, put it down on a piece of paper and you have your plan for the day, what you need to do based on, say, for example, you learn new things from the FDP, you want to deploy it, you create a plan, and then work with your immediate supervisor to let them know that this is the plan, you learned something new, you want to deploy it. Maybe you share that knowledge with others so everybody benefits. Secondly, for the negative things which are coming your way, you allow little time at the end of the day to focus on it, not at the beginning of the day, because you want to accomplish something positive, feel good about it, and achieve something for the day. Don't get bogged down with the negatives right from the beginning. And if somebody keeps pestering you with those negative things, work with your immediate boss and tell them that, look, if I have to do some important things, can you help out? What's the priority here? Should I waste time on this negative, or should I spend time on these productive, positive things which I need to do in the team, individually, etc.? So I think we have to take charge, and it's up to us how we are going to spend time at work, positively or in a negative way. And it's a challenge for sure, but if we work at it, it can be done. So thank you for your question, Mr.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Any additional questions? Why in India people are not productive in team as compared to people in the Western world, US and the Western world? I think it's our cultural issue. What I understand from my own upbringing in first 22 years, 22 and a half years I was in India, focus is on individual learning. And there's so much competition, so much. And one thing I did not make a comment, but let me make it at this point, that our culture of taking exams and re-exams and exams and exams, that is killing our creativity. We need to get away from that culture of exams. Western world, we are not as crazy as exams like we have in India or in the eastern side. So that's one thing. Secondly, everybody is individually trying to compete with others to get the best. I want to be the best. Versus here in the US, individually they don't care too much. But collectively, they are going to work together depending on the strength of each of the members. The assignments are made very clearly, and then collectively they find the best solution. And that's one thing we should learn. When I was working at AT&T Bell Labs, my tendency was to do everything myself. Then my manager sat me down. He became my mentor for almost 15 years. He said, look, you have so much to give, but you don't have to do it yourself alone. You teach others how good you are in managing things and getting things done. So others will become similar to you and your productivity goes up, because then you can focus on critical things you need to do and others learn how they can be doing better. So that's, I think, the concept we need to inculcate right from these study time. No, not much focus on individual learning, but collectively team learning. When they learn from each other, that's an additional benefit. Secondly, learning from the faculty, learning from the peers, and working together collaboratively. And that is the missing ingredient, because I remember in my 4 years, I had individual projects, not a single team project. And that is a shame. Whereas here, when I teach here, these are all team projects as a final, and they need to study about 5 to 6 articles, 7 articles, depending on the length of the semester or a quarter. And they need to do a lot of reading, summary, writing in a very succinct way, and making sure that the concepts they are learning, they are able to deploy it in the project. And I think that project-based learning is very important, making sure they are good working together as a team. Inculcating those ideas are very important to become effective in the workplace at the end. So Google Sheet said by mistake attendance. Okay, that's a personal issue. I don't hear any further questions and my time is coming to an end. So I want to thank all the attendees for being in my session, and I'm very sorry a couple of people kept disturbing, so we wasted few minutes and the videos did not play well. But once you get the presentation copy, you should be able to listen to those very inspiring and interesting videos. So with that, I want to thank all of you, and special thanks to Dr. Mrinal Kanti Debbarma for asking me to join as a faculty and share my thoughts. So Dr. Mrinal, last word from you before I close.
Okay, really, a very great thanks to you, sir, and hope all our participants will really be motivated by your lecture, how to develop a effective teamwork.
Okay.
So, as it is already time for our second session to begin,
Yes.
and our speaker, Baijnath Agarwal, sir from Amazon Industries, is also there. So, let us move to our second session. And
Okay. Thank
once
you.
again,
Thank you
thanks
all.
to our professor Monu K. Bora, sir.